The 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x2 in diamond black over black and beige interior. This year is a turning point for Jeep because it's a mild refresh on the exterior. We get updates on the interior with technology and a whole new engine that we're showcasing today. I'm Anthony from Supercar Throttle. 8 different trims to choose from this year with 8 different exterior colors to choose from, and it starts off with the front getting the updates with the all-new headlamp assembly, full LED headlights, daytime runnings, as well as LED fog lights. The 7-slot grille has been reworked. Jeep badging gets the gloss black. The lower has been updated as well with 8.4 inches of clearance, and you could go over 10 inches of clearance. This thing could do everything, not the one that we're showcasing today, because this is a 4x2. You're also increasing 31 horsepower over the V6 engine, which is starting to make me think maybe a Turbo 4 is okay. House underneath the hood gets the new 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged, producing 324 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, achieving 21 mpgs for the city, 27 mpgs for the highway, with a total range of 529 miles, reaching 60 around 6 to 6.3 seconds, which is a whole second to a second and a half quicker than the V6 engine, and it's electronically limited to about 118 mile per hour top speed or 190 kilometers. Range, it ticks the box. Capabilities, 6,200 pounds of towing. Payload up to around 1,250 pounds on the limited trim. It's not bad, but everyone knows the Turbo 4s. What happens with the vehicles is it's typically sluggish, making the vehicle feel a little bit more heavy. But we will see how the performance is in the drive. The custom preferred package gives us these 20 by 8.5 inch gloss black painted aluminum wheels. It's gonna look a lot more sporty and aggressive with it. The fenders do flare out. You're gonna have the matte black that's going to offset the color with the glossy black for the Grand Cherokee. And what's unique about this particular trim that we're showcasing is it shows you the capabilities that Jeep can do, because it's literally beating everybody in class with a peanut engine. And no need for a chrome delete, because they do this dark gray that goes over here. You get the glossy black here on the roof rails, but over $48,000, and you're not getting a 360-degree reverse camera. You get rear parking sensors, you get LED taillights and the lower roof spoiler. But a con that comes into play is you can't configure this power option in the Laredo. You have to go into the V6, which is over $42,000. It starts on the altitude trim and then goes up to get this 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. As for affordability, this is the middle range against the competition, but the fact that you get more capabilities going this route, I would tick the box if I was looking to get those better MPGs. But let me know which way you would go in the comments. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe and the like. So now we're going to see if the performance is there, because the drive, it's a comfortable vehicle. I mean, Jeep does a good job with that, even with these upgraded wheels. The seat cushions are good. It's not going to hug you like a sports seat, don't get me wrong, but you got heated seats and they breathe relatively well. The cushion itself is also good, and my knees are not necessarily so up in the air. On a normal mode, it can feel a little bit heavy though. This is over 4,700 pounds, and when you're putting a Turbo 4, that's going to happen, even translating into 332 horsepower. I mean, it's a lot of power, don't get me wrong, but when you're in a parking area and you're going under 9 miles per hour, you'll feel jerks. And you can already see the RPM just kind of plays around, because it has to in order to keep the vehicle engaged because of the weight of the vehicle. That being said, it doesn't feel overly heavy, but you do feel some more weight than the V6 variant. Clearance is good, visibility is good. I do like the updates. It's subtle, and it's not a television on wheels. And when you don't option or you don't have the screen here, it still looks like a dashboard. So I like that they keep the car configuration for Jeep. You're gonna hear the engine every single time you touch the gas, and it's basically gonna hover at 2 RPM. The first thing I will like to test is we're gonna show you the maneuverability. It has a little bit of weight, which is normal. We're under 2 RPM, so about a 1.5. We're gonna floor it. A little bit of turbo lag, not much. It does get motivated pretty good. I mean, you have over 30 horsepower more than the V6. You will feel some of the imperfections, and because these are 20-inch wheels, there's no way around it, but it's a smooth drive for the most part. We're gonna put it into sport mode. Turn radius at a stop point is about 2 lanes. Let's rock and roll. I'm taking it off of sport mode because we're hitting the red light already. We did get up to speed pretty good, but there was a little bit of, like, it wanted to almost stop in the hesitation, and that's where it doesn't feel as refined as the V6, and that usually happens with the turbocharged 4-cylinder because they're putting a lot of power underneath it, and there's nothing to really boost it any further. So my verdict is I would stick with the V6. I'm not really keen on these turbo 4s unless you really need to capture 529-mile range. The V6 really does everything that you need, and at this price point it really wouldn't make too much sense to not look at the V6 and maybe drive them side to side so you can see the difference. Even though this has more power, it just feels a lot more heavier. There's a lot more like glitching to it. It's just not as seamless and refined. The drive is fine, the tech is fine, the updates is fine. I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here.